What up, cucks? It's your boy, the hater up in this mug. And people continue to talk about how we are in a new era. Once again, you cannot be in a new era just because Michael Cole said it's a new era, right? They did everything they could but have Triple H come out there and just say, it's my time now. I'm the game. You're not the game. I'm the game, man. You know what I mean? It's some goofy shit. It's not a new era. And here's how I know, right? Once again, the wrestling fan base, which astounds me almost every day with how stupid the average fan is. Like, they're just like, it's complete morons. Like, these are the type of people back in the day, in the late 30s, early 40s in Germany, who are like, I don't know what's happening. Why? How did the Holocaust happen? It's because people like that don't think for themselves at all. They have zero critical thinking skills. They just look at shit and they're like, I don't understand. Oh, but Michael Cole said it's a new era. You know, that's as far as their analysis goes. You fucking dipshits. Listen carefully. I'll say it one time. It cannot be a new era if the main event of this WrestleMania is the same as last year's WrestleMania. You fucking retard. You understand what I'm saying? If the main event is the same, how is this a new era? How is it any different than last year when we were in the old era? What's the difference? Right? Keep in mind, dumb fucks, they didn't say it's a new era after Cody Rhodes won. They said it's a new era before Cody Rhodes won. Right? They said it's a new era, period. Well, hold on a second. If in the last era, the powers that be, Vince McMahon, thought that the correct main event was Roman versus Cucky, and in the new era, Triple H, Paul Levesque, thinks that Cody versus Roman is the main event, then what is new about it? What could it be? Gunther was Intercontinental Champion last time. He's Intercontinental Champion today. Right? It's the same fucking thing again and again. This WrestleMania, like, in 10 years, people are going to be like, aside from main event, obviously, which is, chronological order, people are going to be like, which main event, which WrestleMania was it that Karrion Kross wrestled Lashley and his group? Was it 39 or 40? No one's going to fucking know. Because there was nothing special in this WrestleMania or the previous WrestleMania. Let's be real, right? It's not a new era. Just like back in the day, Michael Cole and the retards that do like the writing, they kept saying, like when Triple H and Undertaker had that match with Shawn Michaels as the referee, remember that one, fuckers? During that match, they said it's the end of an era. Well, I saw Undertaker again. It's been like 10 fucking years. And here he is. Once again here, but it's a new era. How is it a new era? The problem with wrestling is that people cannot articulate any of their beliefs, right? Now, Michael Cole and Triple H don't have to articulate their beliefs because they are part of the show. And quite frankly, the wrestling fans are so stupid that they don't ask for any kind of explanation, right? Nobody asks why this was a good, move or a bad move. They just accept it. They just accept it like, oh, Cody Rhodes deserves to finish his story. Really? Does Taka Michinoku deserve to come back and main event WrestleMania and become champion? No. Why not? Why is Taka Michinoku's story less relevant than Kuki's story? You tell me. Why does Nakamura accept the fact that he didn't become WWE champion after winning the Rumble? Right? Why doesn't Nakamura get to finish his story? You tell me, cucks. Maybe it's because it's a new era, and now Nakamura should feel entitled to go and say, no, I'm going to finish my story. I'm here to finish my story. Are you? Go fuck yourself. Here's the truth, cucks. A new era is being thrust down our throats. The fisting that is currently happening to the WWE fan base is not going to lead to anything. People, even though they're fucking stupid, WWE fans, like AEW fans and WWE fans are like right there, like the dumbest fan bases in the history of fan bases. I'm talking all sports, all media. Like there's nobody dumber than wrestling fans because they lack critical thinking skills and they lack the emotional maturity to deal with things, right? So anything that's given to them, they just eat it. Like if you go to a farm and you see the trough being filled with food and the cow just goes there and eats it, you could put a piece of shit in there and the cow's going to eat it because it's been trained to just eat whatever's in the trough. Same thing with wrestling fans, cucks. They don't think things out. They don't think things through. They just sit there looking stupid and just swallowing everything that Michael Cole tells them, right? Michael Cole tells them that Cody Rhodes is the best wrestler in the world, and they're like, bang, Michael Cole said it. Oh, what did Meltzer say? Oh, it matches. Must be true, right? They're just complete morons, right? And that's the problem. You tell people this is a new era, despite showing no evidence that there's anything new about it, right? Literally, the only evidence that we're in a new era is Michael Cole said we're in a new era. That's it, right? Stephanie McMahon came out and said we're in a new era. And people are like, we're in a new era. That's not going to work, right? This is just like the other times when Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon would come out and would say, we're going to change things up around here, and the same thing happened again. We have been in the same fucking era as always, right? NXT 2.0 is the same shit as NXT. It started off good. It started off with a premise because they had new people, but then that's it. The new people went on to Raw and became jobbers, just like the old NXT people, right? Like next WrestleMania, we might see the Creed brothers in a spot where DIY was this year, right? In a jobber spot. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? The era is not new, and there's nothing about it that's interesting. It's literally the same people in the same position as last year and the year before that. So, that being said, I'd like for anyone in these comments or elsewhere to give me an example of why this is the new era. I understand the underpinnings. The underpinnings are Vince McMahon is gone. And the fact that they're treating Vince McMahon like this, I understand they want to distance themselves from Vince McMahon, even though there's no proof of anything that happened. There's just accusations. But fine, I get it. Distance yourself. I don't really give a shit, to be honest. Go ahead, distance yourself. But the way they're doing it, right? The way they're discarding basically the history of WWE to create a soft reboot and to pretend that we're in a new era. This is the same Vince McMahon that hired all these people. Vince McMahon is wrestling. And you're going to see, motherfucks, this era is never going to come back to the levels of the Attitude Era or even the Ruthless Aggression Era. This era is going to hover around 1.5 million the next year. You're going to see. There's going to be a slight boost, as there typically is after WrestleMania. But once Cody Rhodes, once that shit hits the fan, right, which will take only a couple of weeks for people to be bored of this, right? They're not going to turn on him in a couple of weeks, but they're going to get bored in a couple of weeks, right? Then some Dave Meltzer type is going to say, Cody's growing stale, I think. And the fans are going to start booing him because the fans do not think for themselves. If there's anything that these last 10 or so years have taught us, is that WWE fans are fucking dumb. Wrestling fans are incredibly stupid. They're manipulated by a low-level charlatan like CM Punk. CM Punk is a fucking moron, and CM Punk is a fucking pussy. But they think that he's like some brave voice of the voiceless, intelligent guy. He's none of those things. He's a dipshit. You know what I'm saying? CM Punk is dumb, motherfuckers. Like, everything he says is stupid. He can cut a promo, but he doesn't say anything intelligent in his promos. But he presents it as if it's intelligent, right? Like, he'll say, like, oh, I don't drink, but Shawn Michaels does. Great, so fucking what? Shawn Michaels drank. Yeah, he was fucking Shawn Michaels. Of course you're not going to have a Shawn Michaels life. You're not Shawn Michaels. Look at you and look at the Heartbreak Kid, cut. But the point is that it's not a new era, and just because people tell you something is true doesn't mean something is true, right? We see the same thing happening. The Rock, now I'm talking about The Rock, the man, Dwayne Johnson, who is different from the character of The Rock. The character of The Rock is awesome. The man, The Rock, is a twat, right? The Rock recently put a video up and he said, I'm no longer endorsing Joe Biden. First of all, I don't give a flying fuck who you endorse. You're a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? The Rock is a dumbass. Like, I think he said that he barely graduated college at a 2.1 or something. Or maybe that was high school, I don't know. But basically, he there's no reason to think The Rock is intelligent at all. Right? The Rock's charismatic, but he's not smart. And certainly, even if he were intelligent, right, he sure as shit is not a political, intellect, right? Like, obviously, I shouldn't say The Rock is dumb. Obviously, The Rock's intelligent because he has, a multi-million-dollar company and he's made a lot of good investments. I do believe that there's people around him that help him with that, of course, but nevertheless, The Rock is hardworking. The Rock is definitely not stupid. But the problem is this: The Rock is kind of a cuck, right? So first of all, he endorses Biden because he knows that that's what that's what the culture is saying, right? Now the world is kind of against Biden, so he's like, I cannot endorse him anymore. I'm going to play it down the middle like I typically do. This is the same thing with Michael Cole, and again, I use Michael Cole as a proxy for the new era. I mean, for the push of the new era, right? I know Michael Cole doesn't make this decision. Triple H or Bruce Pritchard or some of the other nerd names. You know those like wrestling names that you like hear? You're like, oh, Bruce Pritchard is gonna have a talk show, and you're like, what the fuck is that? Like, I don't even know what that is. Oh, Brian Dunn, whatever the fuck his name is. Dunn is gonna have like a podcast. I don't give a fuck. I don't know who these people are. You know, they're like, oh, Dunn and Pritchard. Like, I don't give a shit, dude. Like, all I care about is Vince McMahon and other authority figures on TV. I don't care about behind the stage. Except for Vince Russo, obviously, who was fucking awesome. But the idea is these long-ass matches are the same thing as we've seen in the last few WrestleManias. We've seen the finisher-heavy matches like the Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. We saw that with Drew McIntyre and Lesnar. We saw that with Rollins and Lesnar. Like, it's the same fucking shit again and again. And people are so dumb that they refuse to see it for what it is. A large-scale manipulation of the stupidity of wrestling fans. It's not going to pay off for them in the end because these wrestling fans, like, I don't think they spend any money. If there was a way to pirate it, they would pirate it. I think, honestly, that's my theory. I think they did WWE Network because they're like, oh, shit. Like, obviously, pay-per-view numbers are down because the real fans that have jobs and have money and are willing to pay for the pay-per-view are gone, and all it is now is fat neckbeards who just go and stream it illegally. So they're like, fuck, what's the price point that we can have these fat neckbeards pay, right, and give them other content like a cartoon about WWE superstars reimagined as being in a summer camp, which I'm sure the neckbeards all were jerked off to, right? Like, think about it. That's all they're doing. They're like, oh, the price point is, oh, the neckbeard can afford $10. So we're going to change the price point and charge $10. It's going to make us more money in the long run because at least some of these neckbeards aren't going to pirate it, right? That's exactly what happened. You know, the pirating got out of hand, cut. You know what I mean? And that's how it goes down. I think it's a horrible idea. I mean, it worked out well because I like the network, but you understand what I'm getting at, motherfucks. You understand what I'm getting at. The point stands. And the idea is that the notion that the fans somehow understand what's going on and that somehow we're not being led to believe something that isn't true is 100% false, right? They're pandering to the neckbeard demographic harder than ever. And as usual, and here's the kicker, motherfucks. Here's the kicker. They are pandering to the neckbeard demographic. But never has pandering to the neckbeard demographic led to anything good. Not one time. It's led, however, to a lot of failed careers. It's led to the failed career of Hideo Itami, of Sin Cara, of Finn Balor, of all these people that never made it. Of Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Not failed careers in the sense like they're not complete failures. Most of those people are like okay at least. But they were supposed to be these big stars and it didn't happen. You know why? Because they listened to the neckbeards. And at the end of the day, the neckbeards, on top of being stupid, they're very easily led and very fickle. So Nakamura was a big deal. They would sing along to his theme song too, right? But guess what? Nobody gives a fuck about him now, right? And tomorrow, nobody's going to give a fuck about Cody. As simple as that, guys. That being said, go fuck yourself.